Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga with Maria. I'm Maria and today we're practicing Uttanasana, which is a standing forward fold, and this is going to open up the whole back side of the body, the calves, the hamstrings, and the whole back. It'll also massage the internal organs of the torso. So grab 2 blocks for this practice, make sure you have your mat, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and let's get started. All right, yogis, take your 2 blocks and place them at the front of the mat. And then we're gonna start out on our back. So go ahead and find your way to your back. Have both knees bent and the soles of the feet will stay on the mat. And then from here, extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands behind the hamstring or behind the thigh here. Just let the weight of the leg hang in the little sling that you created with the fingers. Point the toes and flex the foot. Point the toes and flex the foot. One more time. Pointing the toes and flex the foot. Use the belly here a bit to lift the head and the shoulders up off the mat. Walk the hands up the leg. Maybe it's just an inch, maybe a little more. No strain in the hamstring at all here. Watch a cycle of breath, breathing in. Breathing out, and then walk the hands back down the leg. Bend the knee, hug the knee into the chest, and step the foot down to the mat. Left leg reaches up towards the ceiling, or the left foot rather. Interlace the fingers behind the thigh. Take opposite interlacing. Yeah, find the non-habitual way. And then point the toe and flex the foot. Point the toe and flex the foot. One more like this, pointing the toe and flex the foot. Yeah, and then you can just kind of relax it, find somewhere in the middle. Lift the head and the shoulders here. And walk the hands up the leg any amount. Keep looking towards the toes. And watch a cycle of breath here, breathing in and breathing out. Slowly walk the hands back to the back of the leg and lower the head and the shoulders down. Bend the knee, hug the knee into the chest, and step the foot down. From here, bend both knees into the chest. And we'll take a happy baby. I almost said half happy baby, but full happy baby. So you can catch behind the knees, you can catch the calves, the ankles, or the outer feet. And you can rock side to side if it feels okay. If it feels better to stay still, go ahead and stay still. Breathing in, breathing out. Hug the knees back into the chest. And let the knees fall to one side. Press yourself up. And you're going to come to a hands and knees. You can cross the ankles and roll over the feet if that's where you're at. Or just kind of crawl to that position. And then find downward facing dog. So find a nice base with the hands. Fingers are spread. Tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back. Right away, pedal out the feet. So big bends and alternating knees here. Like you're doing maybe like an 80s aerobics class, like bending the knees. That's what it reminds me of a little bit. Okay, and then shake the head no, and open and close the mouth. Yeah, stay with the breath. Keep breathing here. Just gently opening the backs of the legs. Finding like open hamstrings here, or releasing the hamstrings without aggression. We tend to get a little aggressive with the back of the legs. It's a frustrating spot. I get it. I'm that person too. But try to come to this with kindness. Take the feet wide. And just slowly walk the hands towards the back of the mat. Little handprints. Keep a nice bend in the knees as you do this. So yeah, like no pulling on the hamstrings as you go. Keep the feet parallel. And you're just going to fold over the legs. Catch opposite elbows. And rock side to side and possibly front to back. Again, if it feels better just to stay still and hang here and just let the head fall completely, go ahead and do that. And then take the opposite elbows. Find a little bit more movement, front to back, side to side, whatever feels okay for you. Bend the knees even more and take the hands to the mat. Slowly walk the hands back forward so you're back in your wide leg down dog. Step the feet hip width distance. Go ahead and pedal out the feet a few more times, and then you're just going to slowly walk the feet towards the front of the mat. When you get to the top, catch your blocks and take them on the highest setting. For now, take your feet hip width distance, so about 4, maybe 6 inches between the big toes, and hands come to blocks on the highest setting. So you might stay here. It's totally fine to have a bend in the knees. If you can straighten out the legs, go ahead and do that here. And then see if you can bend the elbows any amount and let the head fall heavy. So we're taking this in increments here, this standing forward fold. And I want you to get a little bit more familiar with what feels okay in the low back with the feet. So this is the feet apart might be best for some. Ideally, or the more that's not true. Ideally, the more traditional way to do a standing forward fold is to have the inner edges of the feet touching. For some of us, having the feet touching in the middle pinches the low back quite a lot. And so if that's you, I want you to watch out for that, or we're all going to kind of like see if that happens in our bodies. And if that's the case, you're going to keep your feet a little bit apart. And then come back up, look forward, find kind of like a half lift here, find length on the sides of the waist. And then we're going to heel toe the feet together and try this. So inner edges of the feet touch, and go ahead and begin to, you can soften the knees here as you fold forward. Let the elbows bend and let the head fall heavy again. So test it out. See if this feels okay on the low back. Go ahead and stay here. If this feels like it's pinching in any way, widen the feet a bit. And there's really no right or wrong here, so don't think that one is better than the other. All of our skeletons are a little bit different, and it means we have to, sometimes the way that the pose is photographed in a book by, original yogis don't work for everybody's body. Come back up and take a half lift here. Make a decision if you're going to go feet wide or feet together. And then we're going to take the blocks on the next lowest setting and fold again. Maybe you take the blocks to the lowest setting. Maybe you take the hands to the mat. Continue to let the head fall heavy. Notice how the low belly naturally kind of pulls up and in. And again, no strain in the hamstring, so the knees can be slightly bent or straight. Try to let the head go all the way. One more cycle of breath wherever you are, breathing in. This is Uttanasana, standing forward fold, breathing out. And then take your hands back to your blocks. You can take them to any setting here. Look up and take a half lift, and then you're going to take one knee to the mat and then the other. Cross the feet behind you, come to sit down. Take your blocks back to the side here, the middle of the mat, and take your feet to the mat. Toes point forward, feet are hip width distance. Hands come back behind you, fingertips face forward. Breathe in and just lift the hips up any amount here. Let the head fall back. Look straight up towards the ceiling or the sky. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out, slowly lower the hips back down to the mat. Catch yourself behind the knees and roll yourself onto your back. Take the feet a little wider than the hips and let the knees knock together. Hands come to the low belly. Feel the support of your back on the ground or your mat or your floor. Let yourself be held here. Let yourself drop. Let yourself relax. Thank you so much for joining me today for Uttanasana Standing Forward Fold. Make sure to leave any questions you have in the comments, and I will see you soon. Namaste, yogis. Practicing Uttanasana or Standing Forward Fold today may have brought a little bit more awareness to the backs of the legs, specifically the hamstrings, because they tend to be an area of the body that feels tough to open. And if that's you, I really recommend you check out my Yoga for Tight Hamstrings video. It's right here on YouTube. Give it a watch and see how you feel.